everybody in BookTube land. We're
Hey,
here.
guys.
We made it. We had a few little minor technical difficulties, but we are all ready to go.
Yes. How are you, Peg?
I am. I'm well. I'm staying in where there's air conditioning.
Yeah, is it hot there? I know you mentioned it was getting humid.
Yeah.
It's never humid in Colorado.
Yeah, it hasn't. I'd say the last 2 years I've noticed an increase in humidity during the summers, and I just can't stand it. I don't, and I come from Michigan, a land of humidity and lakes. Mm-hmm. That's the only reason why I'm not living there today, I think, is the humidity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you, I did my walk this morning, and the air just felt heavy. And I actually thought it was all clouded over, and I thought it was going to rain. And so I got my walk done, and I got home. I'm like, well, I guess I'll piddle in the yard until it starts raining. So I start raking, got that all done. So I'm like, okay, I'll start mowing. Sun comes out, and it starts raining, and there's no clouds over my head.
Oh,
how weird is that? How weird is that?
That's only you, Bill.
Yeah. So, but the yard is mowed.
See, now I have to do mine either later today or tomorrow. The grass is just growing like gangbusters now. So,
well, it looks like it's like the month of May around here. It's bright green, and by this time, normally we are like brown and dry, and I'm not mowing for the entire month of July typically.
Yeah. Because it's just a little too much. I won't come to Delaware, Anne. Just kidding. Move to the south and then we'll talk humidity. Oh, I know. I've lived in Georgia for many years, Florida Panhandle, and that's why I don't live in the south either.
That humidity just sucks the life out of you.
It does. It really does. Well, here we are for another Saturday Reads, another bookish check-in and chats, and, welcoming everyone. While I'm going to be kind of setting up on the back end a little bit, I want to make sure I'm kind of keeping an eye on the comments. So I just need to do one thing on the back end real quick. And I need to mute this. There we go. Okay, everything is coming up roses on my end.
Nice.
All right. Well, what else was I going to say, Bill? What's new with you? Why don't you share with our viewers?
What's new with me? Well, we're in the heading into the last third of July, aren't we? It's been over a month.
Yeah.
So for me, if we're just talking life events, my umpiring has been done. I finished at the end of June, so I've been just doing yard work, it seems like, in a honey-do list every minute of the day. No, I say that. My wife would not agree with that. She says there's more I have to get done. But anyway, no, just been, mowing and reading. That's what I feel like I've been doing a whole lot of. And I was just looking at I got a list of, I keep track of my reading. And since we talked last, which was, I thought it was just a couple weeks ago. That's what it felt like, but it was actually over a month ago.
Wow.
I have finished, if I am including, so I'm cheating here, I'm including my books that I read with my daughter, the chapter books, not the real thin ones, the chapter books. I've got 31 books done. 20 fiction, 11 nonfiction. So obviously pretty heavy towards Katie.
I was going to say, wow.
Reading.
You beat me.
It's been fun. We've gotten some good ones read, and that's what I've been working on. I had family in town last week. Yep. And let's see, I'm going to help with a church camp next week.
Yes.
Next Saturday we leave. We're going to be up in the UP, Upper Peninsula in Michigan.
Yes.
Yeah, and so that's going to be a lot of fun working with the kids, and then we're going to have school a couple weeks after that when we get back.
So, okay, so
about 3 weeks. About 3 weeks after.
3 weeks after, so it gives you a chance to get back and kind of
Yeah. Well, this whole week I've been in my classroom. So, just kind of putting things away. They said they were going to paint the walls. They thought they were. And so all of my bookshelves had to get moved to the center of the room, and everything got like totally mismatched. And so I've been starting to put things back and sort through stuff and throw away stuff. I'm a pack rat. So, get rid of it if I don't need it.
Yeah.
But, yeah, that's what I've been up to. What have you been up to?
Just working. And thank you, David. It's very nice of you. We try. You can see these comments I'm putting up on the screen, right, Bill?
Yep, I got it.
That's real sweet. Just working and writing lots of book reviews. Doing lawn work. Had a nice 4th of July, went to my sister's for a cookout, and now it's just trying to beat the heat.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going into my day jobs, like busy season, because we have our annual conference at the end of October in Nashville. So I'll be traveling to Nashville at the end of October.
That'll be fun.
Yeah, hopefully get some good food out of that trip.
Yeah.
So that's just, life is just, I've been reading and doing things for the channel. I had an author interview I was pretty excited about from a few days ago.
I have not had a chance to watch that yet. I plan on it, just haven't had a chance.
Yeah, Patrick Kirk, he's a great guy, and he's been writing these World War I fiction series, and he's deep on his 3rd book, but we talked about the first 2 and just how he came to it. And I really enjoy having independent authors come on. I like helping people get the word out about their books and stuff. So so that was a lot of fun. And now this is another fun thing. I love this. This
is like one of the highlights of my summer. Just letting you know.
Oh, I tell you what, though. Yeah, I love these the community aspect of what we do, Bill, and then just the friendships. This is the stuff that really sustains me. Boy, I tell you what.
Yep. And thank you, Dead Poet, for your very kind comments. Appreciate that.
Yes, thank you. Oh my gosh, you guys are the best.
Yep.
We have a core little group here that we're all one posse. Oh, hi, Tony. Greetings from London. That's Tony, by the way. Whenever you see Lockster Reads, Bill, that is Tony.
I always remember Lockster Reads, but I can't remember names. I can't match up names. I'm terrible at it. I'm sorry, everybody.
Hey, I've got you covered there. Well, I think you've got the majority of the books that you have read a lot more than I have. And mine are a mix of a lot of the books I read are for like review work I do, and a lot of them are on ebook. So some of them I have covers that I can show you on the ebook, and then there's some that are just the PDF, and I don't have any covers to show anyone, but hopefully no one will mind. But
all right, well, I'll start then.
Yeah.
How about that? All right. So some of the books I've been super excited about. I was real excited in the last video I did. I told you about the 5 Wishes of Mr. Murray McBride.
Oh, that's right. I still need to get that.
And it's a trilogy. And I got the other 2 read since our last video. And the second one was good. And the third one made me tear up again.
Oh.
It was really good. I think the first one in the series is probably the best. The third one is probably next, followed by the second one. And that doesn't mean the second one's bad, but the third one. So let me just tell you a little bit about the final one, that third one, the First Wish of Mr. Murray McBride. It goes back to when Murray McBride is a little boy, and he's like 10 years old or so, and he meets his wife as a 10-year-old. And obviously they don't get married at that point, but he gets married at 18. He knew right from the get-go that she was the one. And so the book takes place after 80 years of marriage, and they're in one of the opening chapters there. They are at their 80th wedding anniversary, and there's a crowd there, and he's doing a little speech to her, and basically says, you have been my only one the whole time. And she says, who are you? Dementia. The whole book deals with dementia.
Man, that's tough.
And it had me teared up because my wife's grandparents, that's what her grandma suffered from. And the storyline matches up with them a lot, where, you could see lucid moments during some points, and then at other points where she doesn't know anybody in the room.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what happens throughout the book. And the whole thing is about putting together one last adventure before they have to take her to the nursing home, to the memory care unit. And it was so good. So
wow,
good.
Bill. I don't know if I can take that, but but I trust your judgment on these, and I'm sure they will make me cry, but
and they're fast reads. It'll take you probably, you'll get all 3 of them done in an afternoon.
Okay. Well, that's fantastic that you just kept on with that series.
Well, and kudos to my public librarian here in town, because she didn't realize there was a 3rd one, and I told her, and she had it in within the next 2 weeks or so. She had bought it and got it into the library. So I was pretty thankful for that. That's
awesome. You got good librarians looking out for you.
Yeah, she's a good lady. So,
excellent.
What you got?
All right. Well, I'm going to be looking at my Goodreads to help me keep track of what I read. Oh, shoot. Okay, so here we go. I'm trying to remember what books I said I was working on last time, and books I've said that I finished.
Mm-hmm.
There might be an overlap. I guess I should have gone back to see which ones. Let me grab. I got a finished copy of this, and I'm thinking of doing a giveaway on my channel, because I have 2 advanced review copies of this, but it's a keeper, and it's in the true crime, but I'd say more of but also social history. And it was this book, High Desert Blood. I told you about this last time, the 1980 New Mexico prison riot and the tragedy of the Williams brothers. Well,
we had a conversation about my daughter.
Yes. Oh, well, would you like one of those? I should probably.
I will be honest. I told her about the book, and she sounded very, very interested in it. So
it's coming to you.
You do what you want.
Well, in that case, I only have 1 to give away, and the other one is coming to you in your box, Bill.
That sounds great.
I think Crimson will enjoy it.
Yep.
Because it talks a lot about what could have gone better as far as the administration and just running of prisons and stuff like that. But yeah, a lot of this is really shocking as well, and graphic. But the writer, Andrew Brennanstool, and this is from the University of Iowa Press, of all things.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Beautiful writer. He kind of captures in the beginning chapter or 2 what it's like to live in New Mexico. And when he's talking about he's driving down the road with his father, and it's during the tarantula hatching season. Have you heard of that?
No, but that does not sound like something I want to experience. Spiders aren't my thing.
Yeah, well, it's a thing where they will block off the road to let these guys cross over the highway, and it looks like the road is moving. That is
spoiled opportunity. That's prime time. Get out your road work, your what are those called? The steamrollers, and just take care of them.
And tarantulas are harmless, right?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Anyway, I really enjoyed this book, and I think I'm going to try to contact the publicist. I'd like to get this guy on the show. I'd like to talk with him.
That'd be cool.
Yeah. So I think I was reading it or close to finishing it when the last time we talked, and I wrote a review of it, and I don't think it's come out yet, but it's out now, so it should be coming soon. On Shelf Awareness. So I just wanted to mention that it is a thumbs up.
I'm going to make a little note to go look
Yeah.
at your review. Well, let's see. My next one I finished, and I talked about this, was The Rape of Nan King.
Oh, yep.
Yeah, I was pretty close. I think at the time I was pretty close to being done when we talked. And yeah, it's pretty much the same as what I said last time. It's just a lot of depressing stuff. We'll just keep it at that. Depressing stuff. People who struggle when they get power in their hands.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, the title says it all.
Yeah, it does.
Say anything more than that, right?
Yep. And she gives pretty graphic details on everything that happens. She gives, I mean, statistics to the best that she can, because there's no statistics that are 100% in situations like that. It's, Tony, it's a very hard read. It's very sobering when you're sitting there reading it. And I didn't realize the Irish Chang brings the story to life. Like, we have talked about it because in class with my 7th graders, we talk about the lead up to World War II. And we even have a DBQ that we do, a lesson that we do over the Rape of Nan King. I don't believe we call it the Rape of Nan King, though. I think we use different terminology just because of kids. But
yeah,
this just opened up my eyes to, I knew it was a bad situation, but this opened my eyes up to exactly how bad the situation was.
Let me put this up there for everyone to read. The Liberation Line, last untold story of the Normandy landings. That sounds like it would be something you and I would be interested in, Bill, with our D-Day readings,
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh yeah, the post landing. That was a Herculean effort as well. To go back to Irish Chang for a second, I want to share this because I'm going to be showing this in a future video. But yeah, yes, I have stacks of books under my desk. These are the ones I still need to film.
I'm not the only one.
You're not the only one. The staging area for the history shelf is all underneath here.
I have a stack of paperbacks on the floor at my house that I got to get for the next video.
Yeah, you know how that is. I'm going to show this in another video because but I want to mention it now that Bill was kind enough. I think you had mentioned this book the last time we talked, and he sent it to me. So I do have now the Irish Chang's The Chinese in America Narrative History. And I can't wait to get into this one. I've been kind of reading a lot of Asian history, either just Asian history or Asian American history, memoir and stuff. And I've really been getting into it. And I think I'd like to tackle this one before. And I do have the other book on Nan King. It's actually on my bottom shelf. And for many years, I turned it around so I didn't have to see that big R word staring at me every time I came in. I had the book spun around. And so, yeah, but I will be reading that one. But so thanks, Bill. I can't wait to get into this one.
Oh, no problem. Did it get there okay? Because
oh, yeah.
I used those manila envelopes when I sent it. Didn't I send it in a manila envelope?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was kind of worried because sometimes they get beat up.
No, this is like in perfect condition.
Okay, good.
Perfect condition, and with even an ad for a heritage rifle.
That was in there.
Yeah.
Okay, my bad. I didn't realize it was in there.
Do you need this back?
No, no, I just didn't know it was in there.
The St. Joseph Heritage Rifle. It is a what do you call it? One of those fake guns. But anyway, yeah, I knew that about Irish Chang, that she, it did break her because she eventually. And here's the other thing I've noticed. Am I allowed to say certain words now on YouTube? I have been watching other.
I just typed it.
You sorry. What?
I just typed it. I'm sorry.
No, that's fine. I mean, I just don't. I've watched other channels, and this is just some inside like booktube stuff, but people are using other words like unalived.
Well, I know that they're like when
Really?
we do our classes before school gets started, like I'll have to start doing those, like, oh gosh, making sure children aren't abused, those kind of classes.
Yes.
And this is one of the subjects that comes up, and there is like whole new terminology that you're supposed to use. That is, I don't know. It's just different terminology.
Okay.
Now, to stay politically correct, don't ask me all the new words because I will never remember all of them.
Well, I don't, and I feel like I'm late to the game or whatever game this is, because it's like I understand maybe wanting to say that there's, I guess trigger warnings, but I didn't know that just saying a word was verboten.
Yeah.
But anyway, oh, and let's see. Jammy. That's Sharon, right? Let me tell me I'm right. Is it Sharon? That's from TikTok. You can't use certain words on there. I am not on TikTok. Are you on TikTok, Bill?
No, I don't have very many other social media. I do good just to try to keep up with this. Oh,
and here's Tony. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, how do you do honest review? Jamie, I should know. It's Jamie. Okay. Sorry. No, I remember now, Jamie. It's 2 M's, but it's pronounced Jamie. I am so sorry, Jamie. I love you. You totally do. Yeah, I don't know how you're supposed to talk about certain things, And frankly, I've just been doing my own thing, and so far I haven't been like, flagged with anything. So I don't know.
Yeah, and they flag. I think they flag some weird stuff sometimes. So I'm gonna. A couple videos ago, I got into story time, and I said that I'd had an issue with one of the videos I'd put up, and why I haven't done book reviews like I used to. And then I forgot to tell the whole story.
Oh, okay. Tell us.
And one of my people in the comment section pointed that out to me. And I was like, oh, well, that's old person for you. I can't remember why I went into the kitchen. So doing a book review, and it was on, give me a second. Let me think of the book. The kids who get stranded, World War II time period, get stranded on the island. They end up murdering their little kids.
Lord of the Flies.
Lord of the Flies.
Yeah.
So I do my review on Lord of the Flies.
Okay.
And YouTube flags me for plagiarism. I'm like, how? I did not. And how do you even argue it? I don't know all of how to even combat it. So I just took the video down.
Oh man.
And then I was flagged for 6 months. I had a strike on me for like 6 months. And so I just stopped doing reviews. I'm like, if you're going to sit here and tell me that I'm cheating, and it kind of made me mad. I got bullheaded and dug in.
Well, that's kind of concerning, Bill, because and I didn't give you any, like, did you read from the book? Like certain passages? Or?
I had notes on a paper, and I don't think I read from, and besides that, you can read up to, I think it's up to 10% of a book without getting hit with plagiarism.
Okay.
I think, or I know in the classroom, you can copy up to 10% of a book
for
without being, copyright laws and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So with the plagiarism thing though, I don't know how I got hit with it. I didn't copy off anybody's.
I think YouTube is just not as smart as they think they are.
Yeah. Anyway, we probably should change the subject.
Anyway, well, that's good to know, because I was thinking of doing a new series or a new video series called like Mystery Minute, and that where I can just pop in and say, here's my most recent like mystery or thriller read, and here are my thoughts on it. So we'll see if that happens to me, Bill.
And I don't know if it was just because that's such a classic book that so many people have talked about it, and maybe I hit on the same themes other people did. That's the only thing I can think of.
Yeah.
But
okay. Well.
Oh well. Life goes on.
Life goes on. Is it your turn or my turn?
I think it's your turn.
It's my turn. All right. So we're going to switch over to my e-reader. I just a couple weeks ago, I finished this novel, and wow, was it really good. And I wrote a review of it for Forward Book Reviews. It's not out yet, but this is called, let's see if I can get the picture. This is called The Gospel of Salome, or Salome. Yeah, Salome. The Gospel of Salome, by Kathy Schwen. And this is an interesting novel about, it's definitely historical fiction, but I would also say very literary. And it's about biblical characters. There's real figures, and then there's the ones that are kind of made up. But what this woman in this book does here is she has this character, Salome. She's a Greek girl who gets her parents die, and then she's kind of gone. She goes into slavery. She's taken under the wing of Tiberius's wife, Julia. She becomes her hairdresser, but she has a secret. Well, okay, it's a big novel. I don't want to give away too much, but basically she meets up later in life with John Mark, the first, the book of the Bible, the disciple Mark. He has heard that Salome lived with or right next to Mary and Joseph and who they call Yeshua in the book. So Jesus. And he's like, I want you to tell me your stories. Like you were there with them. Like what happened, Well, she has a secret. Now on the back of the book, in the blurb, it actually says it. Like she tells John Mark, well, he was actually my son. So, you know what I mean? So it's kind of like a revisionist thing. As, a person who kind of just doesn't really care for like, oh, someone else was Jesus's mom or whatever. That didn't bother me too much because the way it was handled. It was very beautiful, very lyrical novel, very moving. And Salome is a healer. She's learned a lot of her gifts from one of her, I should have it here. One of the physicians that teaches her in Rome. So she's got her own clinic in Alexandria in Egypt. And so basically, it's just about the time that Mark is trying to decide what to say, and he's trying to gain confidence in speaking in the synagogues about this new faith, because this is now after Jesus has been executed. So it's a really great book. I really enjoyed it. I think it should be out the next couple weeks or so, but it's called the Gospel of Salome, and it's not as like, for Christians, it's not as blasphemous. I mean, it's just fiction. You can read these things and not have it bother you. You can just enjoy it as a story. But she really brings alive the ancient world. So the author really has her finger on just the foods they ate, how they did things, how they braided hair, just everything. It's a really beautiful novel, I thought.
So was that a 5-star read then?
Yes. I gave it 5 stars so Gospel of Salome. So that was on my e-reader. So kick it back to you.
All right. Well, I got another one that I didn't bring the book with me, but it's in the Garden of Beasts by Eric Larson. I talked about that one last time that I was reading it, and I ended up finishing that, and that was a good book. I don't know that it was my favorite Larson book. It seemed like a lot of people really, really liked it. And I did like it, but it wasn't my favorite, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
But it's about a politician who, and I can't remember the politician's name right off the top of my head, but he had went into, in the 1930s, had headed into Berlin as a, I'm going to say ambassador, but that's not the right terminology. He had a political job where the United States sent him over, and he was just basically seeing Berlin turn into the Nazi haven that it was, and watching all of the political stuff, watch what was happening to the Jewish people, watching Jewish people trying to get out, and it talked about how he was treated while he was there. Like if the flag goes by and you don't do the Nazi salute to it, what happens to you? And you get the beat down, even though there were laws that said and rules that said that if you weren't German, you didn't have to. You know, if you were a foreigner in the country, you didn't necessarily have to. But but he said the reality of it was the soldiers caught you around the corner and administered beat downs. You know, he just gave the real story of what it was like to live in Nazi Germany, basically, in the 1930s, heading into World War II.
Wow.
And it was a good read, though. I enjoyed that.
Well, he's a great writer. You can't go wrong.
I've enjoyed all the books I've read by him. I think they've all been pretty good.
Okay. Yeah. I think we talked about last time too that I really enjoyed Dead Wake was one of my favorites.
I really enjoyed that as well.
I still want to read the Devil in the White City, even though a lot of people tell me it's really dark and really heavy.
Oh, it is. But I think you would like it because you like true crime stuff.
I kind of do. I don't know what the hell's wrong with me.
I enjoyed that one because I read that one. Well, it had been shortly before that. I read it this summer. I don't have it on my list here, but anyway, I thought that was pretty good.
Excellent.
Let me throw one more at you. So
do it.
It's kind of a big list here. So a new fiction series for young adults, middle grade, whatever you want to call the genre. It was called The Chronicles of Never After. It was a series of books, and we got it. It was supposed to be a read with my daughter, and we read the first chapter or two, and I think we had stuff going on, and it just did not capture her attention right off the get-go.
Yeah.
And but I kept reading it, and I thought it was pretty good. And then I ended up reading the second one as well. But basically, it's this girl who is dealing with. She's got a book of fairy tales, and the 13th book is supposed to be coming out by this author. And she goes to the store to get it. The book is not there because it never got published. And I'm trying to remember exactly how the thing got going. But anyway, the fairy tale, all of the fairy tale characters end up in her real world. Things get kind of mixed, and the stories are not the same. So Jack and the Beanstalk, Jack is one of the main characters. And so they have to go on a mission to kind of set things right, I think, is a little bit of what it is. And then certain characters are not the way they seem in the book. They're actually something else. You know, if they're good in the book, they're actually bad. It had some neat little twists. I thought it was fun.
Okay. You got to have something to change it up, you know?
Well, and definitely out of my typical reads.
Okay. Out of your comfort zone, maybe?
Out of my comfort zone. It was something that I could see my middle schoolers reading, though.
Okay. All right. That's outstanding. I have asked people in the chat to just share what they're reading right now. And at some point, I'm going to pop some of these up on the screen.
Yeah, that'd be good because I'm typical male. I can't do two things at once.
Yeah, we got. Oh, no, I don't mean, yeah. I'm not agreeing with you.
Thanks a lot. Throw me under the bus.
You know, I was not directing that at you, Bill. I have never heard of reading Regeneration by Leo Tolstoy. That must be maybe like a short essay or a short story. I don't know. And let us know. Nels, what do we got here? Slowly reading The Hanging Tree, Execution and the English People. Wow. For Historathon, Q3. Okay. That's a high praise right there.
All I can think of when I hear The Hanging Tree is that song from The Hunger Games. Is it The Hunger Games? Or do I have the wrong series?
I don't remember a hanging tree from Hunger Games.
Then I have the wrong series. It's one of the kids' series that my daughter made me read, and it's in that song, The Hanging Tree. It's got a really catchy tune to it.
Chorus or something.
Yes.
Oh, In Search of Churchill. Okay.
I'm going to look it up real fast.
Okay. I love it. Let's see what else we got here. Jamie, I'm reading into the Amazon, the life of Candido Rondon. I don't know who that is, by Larry Roeder. Defying Hitler. Yeah, I've heard of that book. I think I have that one. And My Mother Was Nuts by Penny Marshall. It's fantastic. Well, I got another book. If you're into some history with some fun and some humor and some archaeology, I've got a brand new favorite read right now, and that is this one. I can't recommend this one enough. Dinner with King Tut.
Interesting.
How rogue archaeologists are recreating the sights, smells, and tastes of lost civilizations by Sam Keene. This came out on July 8th from Little Brown. I've got a review coming up soon of this in Washington Independent Review of Books. As always, I share all that on social media when that comes up. But Sam Keene is, I guess, like a science writer, and he's done some other books. Like he's well known for like The Disappearing Spoon, The Ice Pick Surgeon. But he's a great writer, and what he does in this one. Let me just. Can I just read a little bit from the back?
Yeah. I was waiting for all the comment sections to answer. I'm sorry about the delay.
Oh yeah, no problem.
She's not talking to me.
I am talking to you.
Yes, go ahead.
Are you talking to me? I don't see anyone else in here. Okay. Whether it's the mighty pyramids of Egypt or the majestic temples of Mexico, we have a good idea of what the past looked like. But what about our other senses? The tang of Roman fish sauce, which frankly sounds disgusting, and the springy crust of Egyptian sourdough, the boom of medieval cannons and the clash of Viking swords, the frenzied plays of an Aztec ball game, and the chilling reality that the losers might also lose their lives. So what happens here is history often neglects the tastes, textures, sounds, and smells that were an intimate part of our ancestors' lives, right? But a new generation of researchers are resurrecting those hidden details, pioneering an exciting new discipline called, wait for it, experimental archaeology. Okay, so, and that's where they say these scientists have gone rogue. They make human mummies. They investigate unsolved murders of ancient bog bodies. They basically, Sam Keene goes all over the world to interview a lot of the people that are recreating what it was like to live long ago in certain aspects. He starts off in Africa of 75,000 years ago, and how they made tools from stones through this this process called knapping, which is KNAPPING, and it's just like you're dropping a hard stone onto obsidian or something. Yeah, and you're trying to make, you're trying to make those flint points and stuff like that. But what he does in this book, which is so fun, is that he mixes nonfiction with fiction. So he writes these short stories for each of the major chapters that shows, and he dreams up these characters and these situations that they're in that kind of elevate the experiments that they're doing, like whether it's throwing an atlatl, which is one of those throwing sticks that you put a dart in. And that's how people back in like South America, 6,500 BC would hunt animals, So he goes to a class where people are throwing atlatls and they're trying to see how they could throw a dart and if they could actually, hit an animal with it. So everything is hands-on in this book. Plus the stories, there's a lot of humor. I was chuckling at a lot of the stories he has in here. He's a great writer. It's like, I think he could definitely write a novel. He's got great characters, but he kind of includes pictures of like, here's his sourdough, Egyptian bread experiments. But he takes it from like Africa 75,000 years ago all the way up to Mexico of like the 16th century. Talks about what it felt like to launch a trebuchet. So he was hands-on throughout all of this. But he goes to China, Alaska, I mean, and the writing is so good that you can't stop reading it. It's a fantastic book, guys. I'm just going to say.
Well, and I would say studying history like that is absolutely awesome. We got when we talk about ancient Rome with my kids, I have this video, and it might be like a Discovery Channel type video, but they go and they rebuild because I'm kind of into architecture. And so I think it's fascinating how they built all those structures and everything. And in the video, they show, how they were able to create the arch and the dome and just all sorts of different architecture things. But they go and they rebuild it. He brings the students into these areas, and they have to actually recreate all of that stuff. So it sounds a little bit like what he's doing there.
Oh, absolutely. And he makes a great point that, traditional academic archaeology kind of look down their nose at experimental, archaeologists.
But what a great way to learn.
But exactly. And to make you interested and to feel like you're connected to people who lived so long ago.
Well, do you follow the YouTube channel? And I will not remember the name of it, but it's a guy who does like colonial foods and then stuff from like the 1800s, how they used to do things back in the day. So if if you were poor, this is what you would eat. And then he actually cooks the stuff, and he does little videos on cooking the stuff, and they hang out in a tavern every week. I'm trying to remember what the name of the channel is, but that's a lot like that too, living the history.
Yes, living the history.
I think that's cool.
I think it is too. I think that's a great way to learn. And I think I know what you're talking. I think I know
Townsend.
He's getting there. Someone can look it up. But I know what Tony's. I've seen this before. There was a show on British TV that I think I then saw on like one of the streaming services about like what it was like to live on a Tudor farm, and it's like hell. It's like all the contestants were like, this is bollocks.
You figure out real quick why the average person weighed 120 pounds instead of, 200 like we do today.
Townsend and Son.
Townsend's is the name of the channel, and the Nutmeg Tavern is where they do their streams.
Oh, okay. The Nutmeg Tavern.
Yeah. I had subscribed to that one a long time ago, and I really enjoy. Oh, you got it in the comments. I'm late. Sorry, I had my tab open and I was trying to find it.
Yeah, no problem.
Thank you, David. I'm slow.
No, we're catching up. Yes, this was let's see here. Tudor Monastery Farm. Ruth Goodman, who's brilliant. Yes. Let's see here. And then great YouTube. Yeah, and great recommendations for the rest of us. Thanks for recommending these things. And then Austin is mentioning H.W. Brands, and I just said, we know Brands well here.
Yeah, we've read a few.
We've done several buddy reads over H.W. Brands. It's so funny if someone were to like completely cover the dust jacket, and have me guess who wrote the book and just open up a Brands book. And if I just see one line of original exposition at the beginning of a paragraph, and then everything else is a big quote, that's Brands.
You know who it is.
I'm you've got to vary it up, dude. Yeah. We're starting to catch on to this.
But I think that's what happens when you start putting them out 1 and 2 a year instead of, more research into them.
Yeah.
Not that he hasn't done the research in the past, but you understand what I mean.
I do. You know what? I have to say one thing in response to a comment, because it's sitting right here, and I plan on showing this again in an upcoming video. This is in my future reads, okay? But I picked up Harry Fans's the third, Culp's Hill, Cemetery Hill.
Nice.
He's got a whole trilogy, and I've been trying to get my hands on these for not too expensive. This one I chucked up the $18 for on Amazon. I think they were having, it's probably the Prime Day sales. But I still need the first book and the second in the series. Fans is known. Let's see here. Cemetery Hill. Yeah. So he wrote there's a trilogy of these. Gettysburg the first day and Gettysburg the second day. And then you have just the standalone on Culp's Hill and Cemetery Hill. Anyway, I want to read all three because Gettysburg is one of my favorite battles. Oh, wait, I do have the other one. Okay, so it's the first day that I still need. I got the second day as well. So it's the first day that I'm still looking for. These are put out by University of North Carolina Press.
So, Peg, have you been there?
See, that's the thing.
You need to go.
Well, Martine and I were just talking about this the other night. She's like, she goes, it really is criminal that you haven't been there yet. And she goes, what if we're just able to take a long weekend, have your sister come watch the dogs, you know?
Well, drive out there and you can stop in Iowa on the way, by the way.
Yay! Yes.
Well,
Yeah,
we could be a half, well, no, we're not halfway. But, I mean, that's 8 hours into your drive.
It's about 8 hours in.
We could provide dinner or something, you know.
I told her I'd love to rent like a big a glamping RV.
Well, you can get out there. There's plenty of stuff. If you do like camping, there's plenty of places to camp out there. Because when we went out the first time, that's what we were going to do until it rained the entire week.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's what we did the whole week. We camped we were planning on camping in Pennsylvania.
Okay. Yeah. I'm leaving it open. I'm just like, I'm not.
There's nothing like walking. You know, you read all that stuff, and then to actually walk the battlefield, to get out there, to stand on where all the Confederate cannons are all lined up and look across, and then see little round top, big round top, all that good stuff. It makes your hair stand up. Yeah,
it gives you goosebumps, right? Oh yeah, we're talking about it seriously. Getting this done in the next 2 years. I definitely want to go, and she's gotten really into it, and she watches lots of like YouTube tour guides, and she's getting into it. So what place was it that you recommended visiting? Oh, Gettysburg. You're talking about Gettysburg, Jamie. Yeah.
Yep, hands down.
Let's see here.
Yeah, we better go back through some of these comments.
Yes, love songs. I haven't read that yet, but I hear it's good. Yes. All right, Bill, I think you've got a lot of books why don't you?
Okay.
Your turn.
Well, I got one I can actually show this time. Destiny of the Republic. I can't remember if I talked about this one last time, but go ahead. Sorry. I think you were starting reading it, maybe? Well, it went fast. This was a very, very good book. Candace Millard's, how she tells the story. It's very fast paced, very entertaining. I absolutely love this book. This is so far, it's one of my best reads of the year. I absolutely love that book. On my mid-year book tag, I think I mentioned it in there. Yeah. It's really, really good. I love that book. So you've read it too? Yeah. I'd like to reread it. It changed. It opened my eyes to who James Garfield was as a person, and not only as a president, but as a man. I was blown away. I was like, what an amazing man. Yeah. You know, just in not only in his life, and very interesting story about his marriage with Lucretia, his wife, and how they came together. Then there was a little bit of a coming apart, but then he fell back in love with her so hard. And there was so many, and then, oh God, it was just a lovely story about the two of them. And then the tragedy of the medical tragedy. It did not need to happen. He shouldn't have died. He would have been an amazing president. Yeah. And to me, and of course I'm going on the manly side of things, to be able to tell them, yeah, go in after it, get it. And he did it multiple times. Just made me, I was reading that. It just made me cringe
Yeah.
on everything they were doing.
Yeah. Oh, it was brutal to read that stuff, and how
Yeah.
much suffering he went through.
And he just gritted his teeth.
No, he was, oh my God. Yeah. That guy. Oh, I wish he didn't have to go. I think he would have been a really great transitional president for the country. And it's just, it was so sad. So sad.
You've read Pat Barker's.
I did. I read the first book in the trilogy.
I have them, but I haven't read them yet.
Yeah, I want to revisit it, actually. I'm trying to find where those volumes are. I think I might only have the first and the second book, but I think, was it The Ghost Road is the first book in the trilogy, I think?
No, I think that's the third one.
Was that the third one? So is it Regeneration, which is the first one?
I think that's the first one. I've read, or excuse me, I haven't read. I own the first, I think it's the first two, and that third one that you mentioned there, the Ghost Road one or whatever, that's the one I don't have.
Yes. I
think. Hopefully.
Yeah, let me look this up real quick. Yeah, Regeneration, I think, is the first one. You are absolutely wait.
Or am I wrong?
Okay, never go to Wikipedia, people, because they don't put it in order. Regeneration is the first. And then it's The Eye in the Door. And then The Ghost Road. You're absolutely right. So yeah. I want to go back to them. I read Regeneration when I was, God, it was a long time ago. So it was a long time ago, and I feel like I didn't fully appreciate, I didn't have the historical background that I do now for World War I. And especially all the reading that I've done about the World War I poets and the shell shock and the trauma of World War I. So I want to go back and really concentrate on that and reading it as a work together. So not waiting years between each book. You know, I want to reread Regeneration, which from my memory was mostly set within the, mostly just set at that institute, you know, where the guys were going, or the clinic. Where the shell-shocked soldiers were going, and it was about the doctors who were trying to treat them in a new novel way, like the talking cure. You know, talk about, you know, why this happens. Yeah. So I do want to go back and give it more a concentrated read.
Yeah, like I said, I haven't read it yet at all. I remembered you were talking about it.
Nice.
Probably a couple of years ago, actually, and ended up buying it, and then, or I saw it at the used bookstore, and then I bought the second one. Maybe that's how it went, something like that. But I I want to get the third one, because I know, just because of how my mentality is, I got to read them all. I'm a completist.
Oh, so am I. Totally. And I did know that Eisenhower had a farm in Gettysburg. So.
So I'll move on. I'll give you two of them here.
Please.
So I read for Summer of Sport 2025, our reading event that involves sports reading. Could be fiction, could be nonfiction, just it's about sports. And of course, I'm a baseball guy. Glad to see you don't have any of that stuff on today. Let's see. Yep, I got all my
Where's my Detroit Tigers cap? Well, I've got my flag flying out front. I got the Detroit Tiger flag out front.
I'm waiting on a losing streak. It's going to happen.
Well,
anyway. So I had started this one last year. I put it down. I came back to it this year, and then I finally finished it. Once I got going in it, it was really entertaining. And that's that Crazy 08 by Kate Murphy. Ooh. And she talks about, sorry, I'm messing up with the camera.
No, you got it. You got
it. She talks about the year 1908 and basically the pennant race. Kind of, it talks about both the American League and the National League, but it really centers in on the National League because it was a little bit more entertaining than the American League one. And it just talks about all of those different characters that you get from that time period. Ty Cobb, Christy Mathewson, John McGraw, all of those old baseball guys. If you're a baseball fan, you would recognize pretty much everybody they're talking about in here. And this was fabulous. It's just the story of what happened throughout the year with the baseball teams that were in the lead. And then it gets into the World Series is kind of short, sweet, to the point because it wasn't as entertaining as the pennant races. And then it also gives a little history lesson for what was going on during that time period, or like on a month by month basis, kind of.
Yeah.
And I just thought that was really good. I thought that was kind of neat. And then the other book that I read that goes kind of hand in hand with this because Christy Mathewson and the New York Giants are one of the key figures in this. I read Pitching in a Pinch, Baseball from the Inside, which is an autobiography by Christy Mathewson. And I read that one before I got done with this, and they blended perfect. And matter of fact, the Crazy 08, she references Pitching in a Pinch several times throughout the book. And so I was like, oh yeah, just read that.
Wow.
And it was really good. I thoroughly enjoyed it, and any baseball fan I think would enjoy it. I just like reading old history, baseball history. And then the other thing I would point out, the writer, and it might be me, maybe I'm off on this, because I think on Goodreads I gave it a 4-star. I think it's probably a 3.5. The writer, when she's writing, and maybe it's something somebody else needs to read and I'm off, but it felt like she was throughout the book going from past tense to present tense. And it drove me insane. It's what we work with kids in middle school on not doing.
Yeah.
And it felt like she did it. And it wasn't just like through quotations either. It was in her narrative. And
so her prose was actually mixing past and present tense?
I thought it was. Again, I would like somebody else to read it, and maybe I'm off my rocker because I'm not an editor.
That will catch your attention.
Oh, it did. It drove me nuts throughout the whole book. But then about halfway through, I was like, okay, I got to quit focusing on that and just enjoy the story for what it is. Yeah. And I did enjoy the story for what it was.
Oh, good. Okay. Now, can you tell me, as a baseball history, I mean, I know some baseball history. I'm not good with dates. When was the Black Sox scandal?
1919.
Oh, okay. So that was 11 years before. So
after.
No, I meant
the book was 11 years before. Yeah. Yes, I'm sorry. Okay. Yeah, and actually, speaking of that, at the end, the last is it the last or maybe second to last chapter? That's what they were talking about, is how baseball really moved into the modern age with 1908 season. They went from the old 1800 style, and they kind of moved into the modern age. And it's, very quickly after this, they're going to go to a lively baseball with Babe Ruth coming.
Okay, very cool.
Sorry.
I got Aunt D wanted to see what that title was. I typed it in. Crazy 8 by Kate
Crazy
Murphy.
08. Yep.
Crazy 08. There you go.
Yeah. So, what was I going? Oh, you made me lose my train of thought. Peg, what are you doing to me? Oh, the Black Sox scandal. That was one of the things they got into was they were talking about the gambling going on and the betting on games. And they talked about a couple of characters. One of them I had not heard of, but he was a good ball player, but they knew he was throwing games. They knew he was losing on purpose. And they referenced the 1919 that, you're going to have a big calamity like that happen in order to get people to actually do something about it, because the owners were in on it. The owners were gambling on games. And so it was interesting. I thought it was a good book.
Well, now that I have you here, Bill, I would love to serve up a topic for discussion just for a few minutes. Yeah. Probably obviously more particular to people in America, but how do you feel about the the growth of, because we have feelings about it here in this house. This whole, if you watch football, baseball, anything now, it's about DraftKings. It's about the betting. Everything now is tied in with betting because now it's legal.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's horrible.
I do too. It's one of those, to me, it's how do you say this? It's like one of those crimes that you figure out. It's kind of like marijuana, where you can't stop it, so you might as well make some money off of it. That's
okay.
how I feel things have went.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I don't mean to get into the whole marijuana legal thing. I'm not trying to open up a whole nother conversation, but
Yeah.
I think it's a little bit like that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, look at Pete Rose, right? I mean, see, now it's okay looking back. I don't know. It's like, what
is he going to get put into the Hall of Fame?
Thank you.
There's
Now that it's
people
legitimate.
still dead set against it, and I'm like, you know what? There's other people and this is just me, and I'm not for the gambling on the game. But you tell me if I'm right? Wasn't he betting for his team?
That I'm not sure about, but I do think it had to do, because he'd be crazy to bet against his team and it came out, right?
Well,
but either way, you can't do that.
Well, here's my thing, is you're putting guys in there who were shooting up with roids, breaking records that might not, I mean, maybe they would have been broken, but might not have been broken.
Yeah.
You're going to do that, and that's illegal, but you're going to keep the all-time hit king out? And we're not talking like he's the all-time king by a couple of hits, but it's by a lot of hits.
Yeah.
And I mean, I don't know. I struggle with it.
What is this?
What we got going on over here? I haven't even read.
Mary Jane, keep the juicers out of the Hall of Fame too.
I struggle with it. And and this is the kicker, is my senior year of high school was when Sammy Sosa and Mark McGuire were going at it for the home run race.
I remember that well.
Me and my best buddy down the street, we loved it. We loved it, watching the game, not the roids, but watching the game. Yeah. And I don't know. I think where I'm going with my argument.
No, I hear where you're going with it. I really feel like this betting stuff is just, it's degrading the sport a bit.
I wish we could keep it out.
I want to keep it out. The only thing,
like this book says, it's always been there. It's just, is it legal or not?
I know, but you know what's funny is it's like, so now it's incorporated into like the broadcasts before games. The guys will have a whole.
Oh yeah.
Frankly, I don't know how any of this crap works. They're like, so-and-so at minus 135. This one's over +8. Mm-hmm. I'm like, it's like a scientific equation. I don't care about it.
Well, some of the coaches I work with here at school, they're all into it. And I mean, they've got a whole bunch. I don't even know how they keep track of their stuff. And they've got bets going on all over the place. And I'm just like, and they'll ask me, who you bet? And I'm like, I don't bet.
I don't bet.
I put so much time here to lose my money.
Yeah, and it's the other thing too is just like how many people are betting away the kids' college fund. Mm-hmm. It's just like, so you're encouraging people to start up a problem because but they'll have a little disclaimer that you can't read. If you have problems with gambling, and they act like they're being. It's like an alcohol company saying, "Here's our alcohol ad, but if you have problems drinking, it's just like, come on,
Yep.
So we don't like it either. We're like, we get so sick when we see the DraftKings stuff come up on the TV. We're like, mute that.
Yep.
We're not down with it. Okay.
I agree. All right. I think it's your turn.
Okay, my turn. I finished this slim value also for, I was reviewing this and it just came out in Book Trib, but this is Path to Power, Road to Ruin, The Dangers of Political and Religious Ideologies by John Kavanaugh. It's a slim little volume, but it's nice. It's a good primer for people who might not understand. I would say that, I would introduce this to, like, say, a young 20-something, someone in college maybe.
Mm-hmm.
It's a good, like I said, it kind of introduces you to the different ideologies, how they work as far as how they've worked in history, how bad leaders' ideological visions can, anesthetize people. And hi, Laverne, welcome. It's good to have you here. Talks about like 3 drivers of ideologies, which is he calls them utopianism, absolutism, and then supremacism. It's really it is a good book. And I think if you're just starting out trying to understand power constructs and ideologies and how they can warp people's thinking, this one it's really good. So, and I wrote a review of it for Book Trib, which is out there right now.
Yeah. Academic or easy
no, because the guy who wrote it, he's a Yale University. Well, he's got a master's degree from Columbia. He's a CEO of some company. Anyway, and it's his own private kind of, study of it.
Mm-hmm.
He's got a good bibliography. He provides notes, so his research is solid. But it's just his take on it. So,
Mm-hmm.
But it's accessible. It's not dry. In fact, I was underlining tons of things in here that I just agreed with, or I was like, oh, that's a good point. Here's well, I don't know. I could get into a lot of different things, but it's very approachable. It's very approachable. So.
Okay.
Yeah, I liked it.
Where'd you review that one?
Book Trib.
All right.
I'll do one more because they were both kind of slim. Normally, I don't review stuff like this. I wasn't sure when it was sent to me. I also reviewed this for Book Trib. But this one's called I Am the First and the Last by Delon Jackson. Now, this is independently published. It's kind of like he uses biblical scripture.
Mm-hmm.
And I had critiques on this one. Because he's referencing books of the Bible. Well, he's referencing books, Bill, that are not in the Bible. So I guess you'd call them apocrypha, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's referencing the Book of Enoch. Have you ever read the Book of Enoch?
Mm-mm. Because
I guess the Book of Enoch is the one that really describes the structure of heaven, like with the hierarchy of angels.
So is that one of the books that got left out when they had the council that put it all together?
So he references Book of Enoch. Frankly, he referenced books that I have never heard of before. Like there's a book called The Book of Adam and Eve.
Okay. Yeah, you're going to go over my head. I haven't.
Yeah, there's the Book of Jubilees, and I'm like, none of these are not in the Bible. These are apocrypha. And he says he has like some that, God has some personal revelations for him. I'm like, well, I don't hold with. I mean, you can write these things, and I mean, and there are some nice spiritual things he says in here that I mm-hmm. agree with, but I had to warn people in my review. I'm like, the sources he's using are non-canonical. You know what I mean? So
mm-hmm.
if you're a Christian who knows your Bible, you need to kind of take this with a dose of, a grain of salt.
Yep.
Yeah. So that was kind of different. I don't think I'll be doing that again.
I would struggle with that.
Yeah, I just want to stick with like history or political science or mm-hmm. Mysteries and thrillers, stuff that I usually do, and historical fiction, big time. Yeah.
All right. Well, I'll bring out my next one, and I'm pretty sure I talked about this one last time, but Retribution, the battle for Japan, Max Hastings. Excellent book. I have been on a World War II kick, and I've read quite a few World War II books. I probably need to go back and just kind of count throughout the year how many I've read. I've read quite a few because, we've talked, my readings are more towards American Revolution, Civil War, and I haven't read real heavy in World War II and World War I. I've wanted to correct that. That's what I've been trying to do. And so I was reading this. And so when I talk about these, just kind of take that with a grain of salt, that I don't have a ton of background, stuff to compare it to. I always struggle with that, like, especially like with Historathon, when I'm talking about these books from ancient history, and, I might bring one up and somebody says, well, that was a terrible book. And I'm like, okay, well, I don't really have anything to compare it to. So I don't beat me up too much.
Yeah.
Anyway, I think Max Hastings, though, he's pretty safe. Anyway, most people like him. And
he's great. And you don't have to apologize for not, like, having.
Well, I think I've talked with you about it. It's probably more for all the other viewers.
Gotcha,
yes. Just I haven't read very heavy in it, and I'm trying to fix that. But Max Hastings in this, I think maybe the best chapter out of the whole thing is towards the end. And I sent you a Voxer on this, and I don't remember the chapter number, but it was the chapter dealing with the decision to drop the bomb. And he did such a good job of just explaining all the different situations, and we could do this or we could do that with the decision making that Harry Truman had to go through with his administration. And I found that to be a really accessible chapter to something that's a pretty heavy decision.
Yeah.
And I thought he did a real good job with it.
Well, I have that book, and I keep meaning to get to, there's like hundreds of other books that I keep meaning to get to on my shelves. But having read Max Hastings with you on, World War I catastrophe, we read his book on that. I recently read his book on the Cuban Missile Crisis, which was fantastic. And he also does a really good job of talking through those moments of crisis, like you're talking about, like, how did they come to that decision?
He breaks it down for idiots like me. he breaks it down for the simpletons.
Yeah. So he's great at describing those things. It's interesting that Tony says here, I haven't noticed this. He oversells the German military, Tony says, and undersells the British Army in particular. That's something I will keep an eye out for when I dive into some of these titles, World War II titles by Hastings. And let's see. And then we got another one. Oh, James Holland on his podcast. Yeah, We Have Ways of Making You Talk, I believe, is the name of that podcast. Okay. And Auntie agrees.
And see, this is something I have not read enough to know the difference. Honestly.
Well, and as you read more,
I'll be able to pick up on stuff like that. Yeah. And so,
it's interesting.
So for everybody out there, if you're shaking your head at me, that is why.
Well, speaking about like the bomb, though, I'm kind of jumping around from books I've recently read to one I'll be starting next month sometime, but maybe I'll share it here with you guys so you're aware. This book is coming out August 5th, and I wasn't sure. I'm like, is this fiction? Is this or history book? This is going to be soon to be a major motion picture from James Cameron, of all people. But this is a new book called The Ghosts of Hiroshima by Charles Pellegrino. It's put out by Blackstone Publishing. And it's about, I think it is going to be, I will go see it in the theater for sure. It's another account of what it was like for the people on the ground.
So it's the Japanese point of view?
Yeah. It kind of takes its perspective from a naval engineer, Tsutomu Yamaguchi, how he survived the blast and got on a train to Nagasaki. Oh my Lord, only to be bombed and live through another. So this is a man.
Was that guy?
Yes, he was on his last day of a business trip in Hiroshima and looking forward to returning home to his wife and their infant son when the bomb was dropped in Hiroshima. He survived that, got on a train to Nagasaki, only to be bombed and live through a second nuclear devastation. Oh my God. So it looks pretty graphic and okay. Yep. So just from the description on the back, it's not going to be easy. It just says people died in unimaginable ways. So it's going to be hardcore.
Well,
But Ghost of Hiroshima soon coming to a theater near you, but I'll be reviewing this for Historical Novels Review. For our nonfiction section, we do about 10% nonfiction reviews as well. So, but I haven't started reading it yet.
Well,
yeah.
Let's see. I'm just kind of going down my list here.
Yeah.
I read a new one that came out. It was called, and it was actually I got it because of the cover. The cover caught my attention. I just thought it was kind of cool. I don't have it with me because it was from our library, but So Far Gone by Jess Walter.
Okay.
So Far Gone by Jess Walter. And I can't remember if I talked a little bit about this one or not. I don't think I wouldn't have, because I didn't even start it till after our video. This guy, it's got a lot of first of all, the book's got a lot of political situations going on. I mean, it was very, if you are a right-wing person, you're going to cringe a little or get mad a little bit at all of the stuff being said. It's pretty obvious where the author's coming from.
Right.
For me, when I read stuff like this, I try to put the politics side, put it to the side and try to ignore that part of it and read it for the story that it is. So with that being said, main character basically is kind of out of touch, old fashioned, and gets in a fight with his son-in-law. His son-in-law is like extreme right wing. And he ends up punching his son-in-law, and he takes off from his daughter's house and basically goes and lives out in the middle of nowhere. So you're talking up in the Idaho, Washington area.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oregon area, that the Northwest. And he takes off, and his family, his dad and his grandpa had owned some land way out in the country, and he goes and lives off the grid.
Okay.
Well, anyway, one day his grandkids show up. He didn't even recognize his grandkids. It's been that long since he's been in contact with his family. So he's living like a hermit. And basically that son-in-law has went to one of the extreme conservative churches and forcing some stuff on the family, and the wife or the main character's daughter ran away because she was kind of sick of the marriage, and you just got all kinds of conflict going on. And the one thing I didn't like about it, and again, I try to take the politics and I just put it out.
Yeah.
So the author very much painted all Republicans into the extreme right wing.
Wow.
And not all Republicans are out on the extreme right wing. And that kind of irritated me a little bit. It made oops, I just,
what did you say? You didn't say, did you say a bad word?
No, I try to keep my politics to myself, and
okay.
I just painted myself.
No, listen,
But anyway, it made people look bad that are not necessarily, not every Republican's far right wing.
Right. There's a lot of people in the middle.
And they get all the headlines, just like on the left side, all the far left get all the headlines.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
Anyway,
I got you. Yeah.
I liked the story for the story.
Okay.
I didn't like the politics getting shoved down your throat quite as much, but yeah, I like the story for what it was.
Well, that's saying something, though.
Yeah.
You found the story was powerful enough to kind of move you past some of those other things that you didn't like.
Yeah. I thought it was interesting.
Interesting.
Martine.
Yeah. Martine, Bill just outed himself. No, listen, we are all friends here.
Yes.
I like you anyway.
Thanks a lot.
Well, Martine, you weren't here. You weren't here when we were talking about Gettysburg. And Bill's like, yeah, you need to actually drive out there. Because I said I want a nice big RV to rent. And he says, stop in Iowa along the way. They're going to feed us a nice meal.
It's 8 hours away from where 8 to 9, depending on how many bathroom breaks you need.
We can park and sleep in the RV in their driveway.
Yep. Well, Honestly, the house is big enough that we bought. We've got spare bedrooms. We'll put you up. Not a big deal.
So I might want to take a road trip to Gettysburg as opposed to flying there. But she's probably like, no. She's like, nightmare. Anyway. Let me see what else. I'm trying to like see what other ebooks I've finished reading recently. Actually, I just heard of this book that you might be interested in, Bill, and I got a free net or Kindle edition of this. I wish they had the cover. It's a book about quarterbacks.
Cool.
It's called American Kings, a biography of the quarterback. So it's right now, it's just on, I have no jacket cover or anything, I don't think, but I'll see if there's a way I can share this with you. Do you have Kindle or Kindle? No. Okay.
You should know me better than that.
Sorry.
my wife wishes I did.
No.
He wishes I would read on electronic devices.
Yeah. Sometimes I just have to. I prefer print, but if I can only get it in PDF or eGalley, I'll take it, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Clover. We need to meet Clover. Okay. So let me see. I finished reading a thriller, which was okay. It was called Unwrapped by Phyllis Picasso.
Okay.
I think it might be a good for like a little group of older ladies kind of reading around a book club. It's like Christmas time, and people are shopping at the mall, and all of a sudden one of the shoppers is, she's found strangled in the parking lot, and so now the detective is like trying to figure it out. Well, there's like a love triangle going on. There's a lot of female centric things happening in this thriller, but it was well over 300 pages, and I was like, wow. So I just read that.
Yeah.
It was all right. I was like, there's other things I want to focus on though, like but I did finish it. I gave it about 3.5 stars. 3.5 stars. So,
well, here is a book that, and I don't have, I had to audio this one because I don't have physical copy, but John, is it Buchan or the 39 Steps?
I think it's Buchan.
Is it Buchan?
Or Buchan.
Okay. The 39 Steps.
You might know how to pronounce his name.
After trying it the third time was a charm, I finally got through it. I just didn't like it.
No?
I did not find it to be that thrilling. It says it's one of the all-time best thrillers, and I'm like, it's not that thrilling.
Well, okay, so was it slow? Like, what did you not like about it?
I don't even know how to describe it. It just didn't grab me.
Mm-hmm. Didn't grab you.
Yeah, just didn't grab me. But I did get through it.
Okay. Well,
you watch BookTube enough, you get all these different recommendations, and every single person I've heard likes that book. I did not like that book.
Well, there's no accounting for taste. No, just kidding. So we didn't like it,
It happens.
All right. I also finished reading this really powerful short memoirish, and I mentioned this in our last video that I was about to start reading it or was currently reading it. I don't have the cover image, but it's called Crossing, A True Story by Glyn Vincent. And it's put out by City Point Press, and it's about this guy who goes on and it's funny. It's so funny how the things you read and then the things you end up watching on like YouTube kind of all seem to come together. Because if you were to ask Martine what I've been watching lately on YouTube, it's like these boating disaster stories, these yachting stories of people who, you remember that show on Discovery called I Shouldn't Have Survived, or I Can't Believe I'm Alive, or something like that. Mm-hmm. And they, so like someone's yacht goes down at sea and then they're put upon by sharks, my ultimate nightmare scenario. Why do I watch these things that scare me? But anyway, he goes on this crossing of the Atlantic with a friend of his as a grand adventure with a skeleton crew They were supposed to have 6 people. They only ended up having 4. But he intersperses the things that happen on this journey with, he reflects back on his parents and their journey from Europe coming over to America. So, and it's about his parents, really. And his parents were really fascinating people. His mother was an actress in the golden era, I guess, of Hollywood. I should talk to Martine about her name. I want to see if she knows who she is. I can't remember what her name was, but I think von Furstenberg was her last name or something. But anyway, it was a really well told memoir, kind of mixed in with, is he going to survive this crossing of the Atlantic on the sailboat? I love stuff like that. It just, it really kind of, I don't know. I like reading about people doing dangerous things from the comfort of my armchair.
I get it.
From the safety of my armchair,
Mm-hmm.
What we got here? Looking at LBJ. You got people agreeing with you on the 39 steps.
Yeah, I saw that.
Oh, Martine is listening to The First World War by Martin Gilbert. Yep.
Yeah, but she fell asleep she's tried 3 times to get through the Battle of the Somme.
You know what? Yes. Yeah, there she goes. Let me just give some props to Martine, my partner, my lady, because she has really been on a history tear. I think I'm finally rubbing off on her, Bill. It's only taken 10 years.
Good job. Because
she has been watching this one guy on Han, tell what the name of the guy's podcast is. He does these reportings on like all the battles of like World War II and probably World War I, and he's sitting at a desk with like this old 1930s vest and outfit on. And anyway, she's been like learning about all these world wars that I know so much about. So now we can actually talk about these things, you know? So let's see if she'll.
Well, hey, I'll throw some props out to my partner in crime. She has been wanting to quit doing this till 2 a.m. The scrolling on their phones.
Yeah.
She hates that. And so she has switched over to reading. I've got her to finally pick up some books. And she's been like plowing through stuff. Her problem is finding authors that she likes.
Really?
Yes.
Okay. Well, I get a lot of fiction here. So if you kind of know, like, if you can start telling me like authors that she's liking, I might be able to send some stuff to you guys too.
Yeah, well, when we get done here, I'll tell you about it. I'll tell you which ones she's liked. What's that?
She watches shark horror stories, y'all, and then it makes me watch them. Yeah, I do. The Complete History of World War I and World War II. Yes, Martin Gilbert stuff. Those are great introductory works.
I have his biography on Churchill. Didn't he do one on Churchill? Is that the book I got?
Yes.
That sounds right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm wanting to dig into that because I've read some Churchill stuff and finding it interesting. I'd never read up on Churchill.
Okay.
So been learning a little bit there.
Jamie wants to know. She wants to know what Amber likes too. So when you start to know what authors she's like reading and liking, and we'll hook her up.
Well, I want to say it, but I don't know if she wants me to say it. She has really liked Colleen Hoover's books.
Okay.
And she has liked, is it Emily Henry? I think is the girl's name. She writes similar stuff. Yeah, she doesn't read any history. She won't. Okay. So I kind of got an idea to what she's liking, and I recommended 3 different books to her. Brought them downstairs. She's like, yeah, I could try those. Yeah, they got put back on my desk with all my other books. It was her polite way of saying, put those away. I'm never going to read them. I'm like, read. I tried to get her to read Michael Crichton's Disclosure.
Yeah. No.
Fast-paced. It's a thriller.
No go.
Yeah. She didn't even open it. She didn't even open the front cover. So I don't know. I can't.
Well.
Yeah, romance. Yeah, she likes those romance books.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Not Harlequin stuff. She doesn't like those, but she likes the Colleen Hoover and Emily Henry, and she's trying to find some more authors. So,
Okay. I think I might be able to throw in a couple books for her in the next box I'm sending out. So,
all right.
we'll
All right.
see.
So here's my next one that I found that was
Okay.
pretty interesting. Some historical fiction or historical romance, if you want to. I saw it categorized as that, but it was called The Fallon Blood, and it's book 1. It's a trilogy by Robert Jordan, and he wrote it under a different name, and I can't remember what the different name is.
Oh.
But it's about an Irish guy who comes to the United States during the American Revolution, or right before the American Revolution, moves to, was it South Carolina, I think it was, and basically starts a plantation. There's a whole love story that goes with it. It was very much along the same lines of like a John Jakes style book.
I see.
And
Okay.
really liked it. When I get time, I'm going to go into the second book, which moves on into, I think it was like the War of 1812 time period. It's supposed to be the main character's illegitimate kid.
Okay.
And then I think the third book is that character's illegitimate kid. There's kind of a theme going there.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, yeah.
A trend there. Okay. Well, you know what? What else? Okay.
Well, Caroline, I'll give that. I wrote down Lisa Jewell. I'll give that I'll see if I can find that at the library and see if she likes her.
I finished reading this book too, and I got a nice finished hardcover of it, of A Remarkable Man, Dr. Shantaro Hida, From Hiroshima to Fukushima, by Mark Pettigene, translated by Adrian Hunter. So I guess I probably should have mentioned this while we were talking about just the other books about, dropping the bomb and stuff. But it's a very slim little volume, and just with some interviews with him and his life trying to treat patients with radiation sickness after the bomb dropped. This is put out by Other Press. Brand new title. I thought it was very. It's just another great addition to any type of Hiroshima studies, or in this. And he's a physician, so obviously it's like it. He kind of talks about the actual like medical conditions and the physical treatments that they did on site, and how he talks to people today. Hibukasha there's a name of the people who survived. They're known as. It's all throughout this book, but they have a name, and it's like. I can't believe this is what happens when you get older. Your memory just kind of. Not as sharp as it once was. Hibukashu or something. It's a fascinating entry into just another person's experience. I highly recommend it.
Did you talk about that one last time we got
together? I did.
Yeah.
I think I was either still reading it but that one's been finished. Just for time purposes, I mean, do you want to talk about books we're currently reading, or are you still got some more to kind of
How about I can do these real quick. These are the ones that I just finished, like literally within the last couple days, last 2 days. So I finished this one. Let's see. I finished this one yesterday. I've been working on it forever.
Yeah.
I got it from Princeton University Press. Once I got to reading it, it wasn't bad. Some of the chapters were more entertaining than others. I found out there are a whole lot of ancient civilizations I'd never heard of. From Greece all the way through like the Middle East, different cities and stuff. And I was so lost on some of the names. It kind of bogged me down. But towards the end of the book, when he started talking about because it's the end of the Bronze Age, the crash, the civilization collapsing.
Yeah.
And he really gets at, Eric Klein really gets at, it's not just one thing that caused the collapse. It was multiple things over a period of time. And so he talks about, it was interesting, the network in the economy throughout the region.
Mm-hmm.
We look at the globalized economy as being a modern day thing, but it wasn't.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe this is a little smaller scale geographically, but it was very globalized for that period, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
But then he also talks about there was drought, there was earthquakes, there was, just different things that caused the collapse of civilization in 1177.
Okay.
But I did want to say thank you to Princeton University Press for sending that to me. That was good. I think I gave it, this would be another one. If you could do half stars on Goodreads, I would have gave it a 3.5. I ended up giving it a 4.
Okay.
Because the guy's obviously way smarter than me, so I can't give him a 3.
Yeah.
And then this morning I finished up two not chunky, but kind of chunky books. This one's American Warlords, and I think I talked about this one last time.
Ooh.
How Roosevelt's high command led America to victory in World War II. This was awesome. This was fabulous. This was great for a simpleton like me. I'm serious. This gave you such a good insight into the mindset of all of these different guys that were in command during World War II. I don't know if can you see that?
I can. Now, is that Stimson on the far left? I see. Yes. Marshall. And,
yeah, we've got Stimson, Marshall, and
is that
King? Is it King or Leahy? It talks a lot about.
I think it's King.
I think so too. And see, I wasn't familiar with King.
Ernest King.
I didn't know anything about King going into it. And so he was an interesting character. And I just really, really liked this book. This is a 5-star read for me. I would highly recommend it to anybody who doesn't know maybe a whole lot about World War II and the command structure. And it is more political in dealing with administrative stuff. It's not a bog you down in battle by battle type of book.
When did that come out, or is that a new one? Because I don't think I have that one.
This one came out in 2016.
Okay, I'm gonna.
That's this printing. 2015, I guess, is when it came out. This is a 2016 book.
Okay.
So Penguin.
American Warlords. All right.
Now Caliber. Imprint of Penguin.
Yeah. So, okay.
Anyway. Highly recommend that. That was awesome. And like I said, it's been kind of neat reading all these World War II books because they've been dovetailing together and fascinating stuff. I think I've got a lot more stuff in my noggin for when I teach the kids.
Nice.
Let's see. Tony.
Yeah, he was mentioning the Klein book, which is the 1177.
I totally agree. It could have been clearer. Especially the stuff with ancient. I felt it cleaned up towards the end of the book when he was starting the last couple chapters, when he's wrapping things up and making his point. I thought that was clear, but the beginning part I struggled with it. That's why it took me so long to read it. I'd read it and I'm like, okay, I got to put that away for a while. So. And
it's so interesting because I have the original version of that in paperback. And then I saw that it
revised a few times.
So what does that say about the organization, to Tony's point, or the fact that it was written in a way that was just very confusing for people, or so I was like in a rush to get that revised and updated one, but now I'm not in a rush because I feel like maybe it's still not as good as it could be.
with the revised edition, he adds in a whole bunch of different documents that they found in some of these cities that they dug up, like very recently.
Okay.
And he adds some stuff in there.
Okay.
So, but I didn't read the original, so I don't know how much it changed. But it had to change it a little bit because he even mentions that the storyline changed a little.
Yeah.
So, anyway, I'd be interested to see if they'll send me the after 1177. I think is the
they're doing the follow-up, right?
Yeah, there's a follow-up to it, and it doesn't have it on the back here.
Okay.
But it'd be interesting to see if Princeton would send that to me. I think I'm going to ask them.
Yeah, I
said, I can't just read one. I have to read them all.
You have to. You got to be
sure. And then the other one that I finished this morning was Elizabeth and Mary, Cousins, Rivals, Queens.
Ooh.
I thought this was well done, Jane Dunn. I thought this was well done. I read, what was her name? The Mary, Queen of Scots biography by Antonia Fraser.
Oh, Antonia Fraser.
And so I was very familiar with pretty much all that was being talked about in here.
Hmm.
So, and that's not to say it's a bad book. It would be good for somebody, coming to the topic for the first time. I thought it was good. It really focuses on just the two of them as the leaders. It doesn't really get into the political stuff going on around them. It briefly talks about it. It's more of a personal thing, if that makes any sense.
It does. And I like those as a change of pace. I like to kind of get behind
it gets you to know the characters and what's going on. And so I really enjoyed that. I don't know if you ever watched that show, Rain. They had it on like the WB. That's what it was, the channel it was called. I can't remember who put it out, but it was all about Mary, Queen of Scots. And that's what really got me into that subject. I was watching that. It was kind of a teeny bopper show, kind of embarrassed to say I was watching it, but it had me on the couch though with my phone, Googling everything that was going on to see how accurate it was. And I thought it was a fun show, not necessarily historically accurate all the time,
right?
But it kept me on my toes checking for that stuff. And so it really got me to reading a little bit more on the subject.
Well, fantastic. And actually, we have a question for you, Bill.
Oh, what was it? Sorry.
I'm putting it on the screen for you.
When you teach World War II, do you talk about the rise of the Nazis too, or just about, we do it from a European point of view. I mean, we talk about America too, but we do it from a European point of view because it is my geography class, and I have a whole history. I'll do the geography in one chapter, and then I do the history stuff in another. And this is the geography of Europe. And so I do it from the European perspective. Yep. So,
I mean, you go into those,
yeah, we talk all about the Nazis. We read, there's a chapter out of Mein Kampf that we read pieces of.
Oh, wow.
Getting into Hitler's brain a little bit.
Oh, that's heavy.
No, I'm not teaching my kids to be Nazis. That's not, but I'm trying to get them to understand, because they always ask the question, how could anybody do that? Why would somebody do that? And so we read a little bit of that it's the chapter on nation and race, to get the background of what Hitler was thinking and why he wanted to eliminate, the Jewish people. And that's, I give the background that way. But then we read some, let's see, we read Shire. What's his name?
William Shire.
William Shire. Yeah.
The Rise and Fall of the Third Reich.
Well, we don't read that. I mean,
no, you don't read that.
We'll be reading it. No, but we read there's a excerpt from one of his books. It's the 1929 to 39 or something like that. It's like a decade right before the war. The excerpt comes from that.
Okay.
And it talks about, it's basically Shire. He's a journalist in Berlin, and he's telling people, you need to beware of what's going on here. The writing is on the wall. They're hiding things, but it's there.
Yeah. And
so, we read that. We read, I don't know. There's all kinds of things that I try to bring in. I'm not going to say I'm the best at it, but the kids seem to get a lot out of it.
Okay. That's a great answer. That's a great answer.
We try to do it. We talk about what was going on in Spain. We talk about what was going on in Germany, and yeah. Anyway, hopefully that answers the question.
Oh, yeah. And why didn't people stand up against it? Well, that's a question for the ages. That is a question that haunts the steps of humanity from the first millennia.
Yeah.
Because I think courage is a very rare thing in the human situation. And I think it's been that way throughout time. So when you see people actually being courageous, you notice it, because most of us aren't.
Yeah, it stands out. Yep.
It stands out. We are answering Winterlind. What are you doing, Marty? We already answered
a lot about just to play into that. I know it's kind of an open-ended question there, but we talk a lot about just the economic side of things of what happened after World War I, the Treaty of Versailles, and what it did to Germany, and how they were looking for answers. I mean, you got a starving population that's struggling, and the treaty wasn't very nice to them, and it shouldn't have been. I'm not saying it should be. It put Germany in their place, and it caused a lot of resentment, and it opened the door for a dictator to come to power. I call him a dictator. I don't know if technically he was, but I call him one.
Well, a demagogue, an ideologue, a dictator, a tyrant. Yeah, he's all those things. Yeah. But that's why I think you notice it when people do that. What's this? Oh, this is only my, this will be fun. This is only my, Katie Hopkins asks, this is only my second live chat here. How did Peg and Bill meet?
Well, it goes back to, for me, the year 2020. We had this thing called COVID.
Yes.
And actually, no, it's before that. I take that back. It was 2019 when I found your channel.
You found me.
It was right before COVID, and I discovered YouTube. I mean, I knew it was there, but I'm not a social media type person, but I started watching channels over that. Was that the Christmas break, or was it even the summer of 20? I may have started the summer of 2019, and then I think I found Peg like maybe over Christmas or so.
Yeah.
And then COVID hit, and I made my own channel that January. Thankfully, because I was teaching and I had to learn how to teach remote. And so this really made me a whole lot more comfortable. Yeah. But then how did we meet exactly?
I'm trying to remember. Was it via email?
Well, it had to be one of our, like when I did my history video, and you like the get to know me video that you always do.
Yeah.
And you saw that, and then we just started messaging.
We just started messaging, Katie. Yeah, we just started messaging, and we started learning how to do the buddy reads together using Voxer. And then Bill came out and his wife and the daughter came out to Colorado to visit their family, and we met up at Second and Charles, and we did some bargain book shopping together. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah. Peg has been, and I've said this multiple times, not to be a broken record, but she's been a good friend right from the get-go. She's just a sweet lady, and has been nothing but what is this?
She's being
okay, cute. Jeez.
I know she's not true. She likes to stir things up.
But I mean, you've been positive the whole time. Like, if anybody gets a chance to watch my very first video I put out, it was awful. And for anybody to put any positive vibes on that takes some gumption to do that. It was terrible.
Bill, everyone's first video on BookTube is awful. I mean, I had bad hair, bad lighting, and I was like nervous. So I'm like, I
had no personality.
My voice was all shaky.
I had no personality. I've told it to you before. I had to start the video over like 10 different times, and I was on the verge of tears. That's how bad it was bugging me.
No, oh, Bill, really?
Yes, I'm dead serious. My daughter comes down and she goes, "How's it going? Did you get done?" I said, "No, I did not get done." Oh, I said, "I can't get through it." She goes, "Just do it. You'll get better at it. Just do it." And so I powered through as I'm about ready to start bawling like a baby. It was terrible.
Oh, that makes me laugh. I don't know why. I'm getting flashbacks to there's times where I've done that too, Bill, where I'm like, I'll do like 3 or 4 takes, and I could be 5 minutes in and I'm like, what am I doing? And I just hit the hit the stop button, and I'm like, come on, Peg. Whoa.
Yeah, I started saying something and rambling. I did that yesterday when I put up my video yesterday. I started to ramble and okay, and click, let's start that over. It was terrible.
That's funny.
And then you
I want to add on to that though, just to give those those sentiments right back to you, that Bill's been one of my best friends here on BookTube and just in general.
Oh yeah, we chat all the time, and
we do, and he's just been there for us, me and Martine, and we'll text each other sometimes and share things, and so we're definitely family friends and stuff. And Patrice is another great, Patrice Jones, who recently started her channel about last year, I believe.
2 minutes on books.
2 minutes on books. And I'm going to add both channel links into the description after this lives on YouTube. But she's just one of my best ones too. And I know you read a lot with Patrice, and she's fantastic.
Yeah. So, and both Peg and Patrice, I mean, you got a prayer request, you Voxer it and send it to her, and you're on the prayer chain.
That's right.
And it's reciprocal. They, we go back and forth on stuff. If we need an extra shout out, we ask for it.
We do.
And it's good to have people like that around you.
Wow. Well, and you guys out there in the audience just are wonderful. We love you, Jamie. And I don't mean that flippantly. I mean, I really care about all you guys. It's like, I may not have talked to you on Voxer or face to face, but I recognize your names, and I know that you're good people. And thank you, Tomatoes. We tried to, and that's a great name, Tomatoes. Yeah, there's not a lot of us history booktubers out there. So
we like to represent
that. Yeah. Do you want me to show a book I'm reading right now?
Yeah, show one you're reading right now.
All right.
Then I'll follow up.
Okay.
With you.
Well, I just started this one. I'll be writing a review for it too. But this is the latest from Tom Clavin, and I know you know that name, right? Tom Clavin. He's done. This guy's churning out a lot of books, and he does a lot of co-authoring, right? But so this is his new one, and you might like to see this one. Running Deep: Bravery, Survival, and the True Story of the Deadliest Submarine in World War II. This one's coming out in October. Bill, I have an extra copy. Would you like it? I got you covered.
I'm gonna open a tab here, so if I don't look like I'm looking at you, there's a reason. There's a book that I'm thinking of by him, because I said he writes Western histories, and then you put that one up, and I'm like, oh, that's not a Western history.
Yeah,
I swear he's the guy I'm thinking of.
It's the same guy, but he recently wrote another World War II book called Breaking Down.
Did he do Tombstone?
Yes.
Yeah, there was 3 Westerns he did.
Deadwood.
Yeah, okay. I got the right guy. Never mind. I won't open up the tab.
Yeah, no, Tom Clavin, he's written a lot of different things, and I think he's moving into World War II stuff now. But he wrote a book on Halsey's Typhoon, which I have a used copy of, which was like one of his first ones. Yeah, he wrote like Bandit Heaven, Throne of Grace, The Last Outlaws.
Oh, goodness, he's got a bunch of them. I didn't realize that many.
He's got a lot. So this is like the second one I've seen recently that's World War II related. Lightning Down that came out in 2023 or 24. And this is about the USS Tang, a submarine. I'll try not to, he gets captured. It's Captain Richard Hetherington O'Kane. It's like a survival story. They made it to the surface after their sub got, sunk, but then they were captured by the Japanese, and they went to a torture camp. So it's about his survival in a torture camp. So yeah, true story of death and survival on the high seas. And so I'm looking forward to Clavin's latest book. I'll be starting that. Well, no, I've already read the intro. So now I'm diving into that.
Did he do the one on Valley Forge? Is that him? I put one on Valley Forge on my third quarter Historathon, and I thought he was the author. But anyway, doesn't matter. That's all right.
Okay.
All right. So what am I reading? Okay. So I got another one that I've been working on forever.
Speaker. I call it Speaker.
It's interesting, and I like Mary Beard's writing. It's just, I can't keep track of names. It's kind of the same story as the other one.
Yeah.
And I'm just struggling to keep track of names. I mean, and there's parts of it, like I recognize Spartacus, but I recognize Cicero, but I don't know a ton about these guys. And then he adds in 30, or she adds in 30 other names. And I'm like, who in the world are these people? I have no background in this.
Yeah.
And it's exactly what Vin told me. I should have just listened, because I asked him, should I get that? Because everybody talked about it that first year we did Historathon. And I was like, oh, I that's at the library. I can get that. And he sent me immediately a message. Well, I don't know if you want to start with that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't listen.
No, it's overwhelming. Sometimes Roman history is just,
Well,
it's too much sometimes for my brain to track.
the other couple books I've read by her, I liked. And I thought I did all right with them, but then I got into this one and I'm like, man, there's a lot of stuff in this. It's not that she's making it difficult. It's not like overly academic. It's just a lot of stuff.
It's a lot of stuff. It's a lot of people and names to remember. And so was consul during this.
And that stuff is confusing. I took a college class. It was, wasn't it two? I want to say it was a 2-semester, nothing but Romans. It was Roman Civ. And it was a 2-semester class. I swear it was. And I obviously can't remember anything from that class.
You know what's weird? Yeah, well, and maybe anyone out there in the audience can tell if you feel the same way. I find that I can grasp Greek history far easier than Roman history. So I don't know what it is. Maybe it's the introduction of all the Latin words with Rome. I don't know. And the way that, well, you just had like different, you've got like the Republic, right? Then there was the fall of the Republic. Then it was the Empire. There's just so much there.
There's a lot.
Yeah. And I really kind of love Greek history. I love the Persian, the Persian Wars, the Peloponnesian War, Athens, Sparta, the Corinthian League, the Delian League, all that kind of stuff. I just love that stuff. And I like Roman history as far as like when it comes to like the really cool battle stuff, Punic Wars and stuff like that.
Well, I think
you better not say anything in the comments about the Punic Wars. Thank you.
Well,
there's a private joke there. Sorry.
I was thinking about this while I was mowing this morning, and I'm so much better at remembering American stuff, obviously, because the names and stuff are common. So that part makes sense. Then I got to think about, next year I get to take kids to DC again, 250th anniversary of the nation, 250th. And then you look at Rome.
Oh,
that's a whole lot more. It makes sense why I can't keep it all straight.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, it's way more than 250 years.
Way more.
Our history is it's short.
It's in the blink of an eye compared to some civilizations.
So that kind of made sense as I was thinking about that when I was mowing. Yeah. All right. The other one that I'm working on is Frederick Douglass. I am working on the third auto. There we go.
Life and Times.
As I've read, I read the first one with my kids every year, so twice a year, and then I just read this one did I do it in June or at the end of May, into June, and got My Bondage, My Freedom read. And so now I'm reading Life and Times.
Okay.
And so I'm not very far into it because I was trying to finish up a couple of those others. So I got to get going on this one.
Yeah.
I want to get it done before school starts. That's kind of a goal.
Well,
and I guess also last one, I started The Fate of Day, but I'm only like 10 pages in.
Hey.
Because I was trying to finish those other ones. I kind of made it a point to finish 1177.
Yeah.
Yeah. So looking forward to this.
The Fate of the Day. All right. I'm reading, I'm buddy reading still, Ralph Ellison, a biography. With Patrice by Arnold Rampersad. So we're making better headway, but it's still early days yet, but we're enjoying that. Let me share as well. I am halfway through. I want to try, when I'm done with this, I'm going to be hopping back into this novel. This is, everyone knows this name, right? Alison Weir. This is the Cardinal.
Oh, I just got a book by her.
Yes, this is her latest.
6 Wives.
Yes, she's written all those books about Henry's wives, and this one's a novel of love and power. This one's about Cardinal Thomas Wolsey, which I don't know much about. So this is I'm halfway through, and I don't know a lot about I know the gist of like the Tudor era, but this one is making me want to get like further back into reading that stuff, like the English history. And you were showing that the book by Jane Donne, which I want to check out as well, about Elizabeth and stuff. So, but obviously this is before Elizabeth and Mary, Queen of Scots. This is Thomas Wolsey's kind of climb to power. And she writes as a historian would when it comes to fiction. I like I'm trying to figure out how to phrase this because I'm writing a review of it as well. She has a very straightforward approach to prose and fiction, and it's not overly flowery. It's very, he thought this, he thought he could gain, so it's kind of like that. It's almost, I want to say like two-dimensional, but it's two-dimensional writing, but yet the way that she's laying out the story, and you can see like he's getting too big for his britches. But he's very close with King Henry, a young King Henry in this. So this is where I'm at now. Henry hasn't even begun his affair yet with Anne Boleyn, but that's where Wolsey's downfall comes from, is from Anne Boleyn.
So is that one out?
What?
Is that one out now?
Oh yeah. Yeah, this is a big seller. This is like a bestseller right now, I guess.
Laverne was asking, so
Oh yes, it's out right now, Laverne. And so I actually am finding that I'm really engaged with it, even though the writing is not full of like, literary insights of, it's how a historian would write a novel, but it's very effective. I'm just going to say it that way. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Very straightforward. And you just kind of move through the story. And I'm getting, every time I sit down to read it, I finish like at least 50 pages, and until the next sit down or more. One night I read 100 pages in a row. So I'm enjoying it.
Good. You may read the next comment.
What? Oh, maybe you can speak to that.
I thought it was funny.
What's his batting average? Wolsey was Hank's man. Oh, Sharon.
All right. So moving into future reads, because I didn't bring all of my current reads. I can tell you, though, I'm
sure.
Just real fast. I'm still reading Peaceable Kingdom with my daughter. Matter of fact, I was supposed to get a chapter done this morning. I didn't get done. But I will. Okay. The Last Lion by William Manchester. That's a slow go, but that thing is like, it's a big one. But I'm in the first volume of that. I'm about ready to finish The Aviators by Winston Groom, which I think you would like.
Oh, I would.
You know Winston Groom.
He's written
Civil War, a lot of stuff. Well, this is about, excuse me, this is about Charles Lindbergh, James Doolittle, and Eddie Rickenbacker.
Oh, okay.
And it's about their life in aviation, basically. And so, like right now, I am at the part where they're getting ready. Doolittle's about ready to go respawn to Pearl Harbor.
Okay.
Yeah, and that's I've found that one pretty good. I don't own a copy of that, so I've been listening to that one on audio when I'm when I'm out walking at the cemetery in the morning.
Oh, okay.
Let's see. Oh, another good one. Harlow Giles or Giles Unger.
Yeah.
Unger? How do you say his name?
Oh, wait. Harlow Giles.
You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yes.
Well, he's got a book on John Quincy Adams that I'm going to.
Yes, Harlow.
Is it Giles or Giles?
Harlow Giles Unger.
Yeah.
He's got like 3 names. Yes. Okay.
I'm about halfway through that,
Ooh.
halfway to 2/3 through that, and it's a short biography on Adams, John Quincy Adams. It's really good.
Mhm.
And then my two fictions are The Sun Also Rises by Ernest Hemingway. Hasn't captured me.
It's like,
it's okay. It just,
yeah.
I liked his one on World War One. What the heck was the name of that?
A Farewell to Arms?
Farewell to Arms. I liked that one way better than this one.
Okay.
And then Kurt Vonnegut's Slaughterhouse-Five.
I've never read it, if you can believe it. Is it just okay?
I'm a quarter of the way through it.
Okay.
It's isn't catching me like that other anti-war book I told you about. What was the other one? A while back, you said you wanted to read it because you hadn't read it. It's a thicker one.
About what was it about again?
It was anti-war about.
Oh, Catch-22.
Catch-22, not Vietnam. It was World War II.
We were gonna try to look at reading that soon.
Yeah, I read that, and I liked that one.
I did like that one.
The Slaughterhouse-Five has not captured me yet.
No.
And maybe it will. It just hasn't yet.
You have to read Vonnegut. Okay.
Joseph Heller, yes.
It is Joseph Heller. Okay. Yep.
Yep. That's who wrote the other one.
All right. Well, here's a couple books I'm also struggling to get finished. I've got a lot to finish up by the end of the month, and then I've got stuff that is ready to go for August. But this is another one I'm reading right now called The Darien Gap, A Reporter's Journey Through the Deadly Crossroads of the Americas by Belen Fernandez. This is a university press book, Rutgers. It's a slim little volume. It's about where Colombia meets Panama and where like actual Central America connects to South America. And this Darien Gap is just like this almost, well, people have found a way to pass through it, but it's almost like a graveyard. But it goes into the beginning, the history of people trying to build a canal through the Darien Gap, but it just was not a place to do it. And now there's migrants who are trying to travel from South America who are migrating up, to Mexico and America. But it's like bad things happen in the gap. And this reporter goes in there to find out, what's going on there. But she starts it off with like a history of the gap.
What time frame is that? Is that 1800s?
Yes.
That's when they built the canal.
Well,
or they started it anyway.
Yeah, I mean, I've started it, but it kind of talks about the history of people who've gone there in the 16th or 17th and 18th centuries and scouted it out. But then it moves into her experiences going into the gap. She gets like arrested or something, and then she's put in. She's giving a ground's eye view of what it's like to go through here. So I find it kind of interesting. Yeah. Yeah. So that's something I'm working on right now. And then one more thing I want to show you is it's a very slim book that's coming out August 5th. I'll be reviewing this for Book Browse Review.
So you started this one or haven't started this one?
Haven't started, but I'm about to.
Okay.
This is The Invention of Charlotte Bronte, A New Life by Graham Watson. Very slim little volume. But let's see, it's a groundbreaking biography that challenges the established narrative to reveal the Bronte family as they've never been seen before. I love anything about the Brontes. And so when my editor was like, I had a short list of things to choose from, and I'm like, well, this sounds interesting. So my review is actually due like July 29th on this. It's about 250 pages. But it's a brand new kind of, slim volume on the Brontes, and not just Charlotte. So it's on the family. So I'm looking forward to starting that one. And what about you?
Well, John David and I.
Yes. Woo.
Yeah, that new one that came from the University of Chicago Press.
Nice.
sent that to me, Inventing the Renaissance, and so we're going to be starting that towards the end of the month sometime. He's wrapping up a book, and I'm trying to wrap up a couple of books, and so we're going to get our schedules synced, and we're going to read on that.
How big is the book?
Oh, it's good size, 745 pages.
Okay.
Not quite big enough for March of the
Woo!
Madness, but
Yeah, but that's pretty big.
yeah, that's one. And then going back to the Royals.
Oh yes,
not from Kansas City, but
I think I sent that to you.
Yeah, did you send that one to me?
I did.
Yeah, I have talked about all 5 years being on BookTube. I've talked about, or last 4 years anyway, talked about doing this one.
Yep.
And so I'm going to try to make a point to do it.
Nice.
And then my last one. This is the last book I have.
All right.
Just got it sent today from the University of Chicago Press. Opened it fresh today. Alexander the Great, Lives and Legacies.
All right.
It's a slim biography, a couple hundred pages, and so I'm really looking forward to that. I don't know if I'll get it squeezed in before school, but it's gonna go on the list. I'm trying to I want to try to make a habit of, when the publishers are sending me these books, I need to read them a little faster than what I've been doing. It's my bad, but
hey, you know what? You've got a full-time job.
Yeah. So anyway, that's
yours.
There's all these old books that I haven't read.
Well, and here's two more that I'm trying to squeeze in, and I don't know if I can. Let me see and make sure my internet is okay. I know, gosh, we have gone over 2 hours. Can you believe it, Bill?
Sorry. I talk too much.
No, don't apologize. I just think it's wonderful. I'm going to try to squeeze these in, but there's a lot going on. Anyway, back to Rome for a second. Barry Strauss, do you know that name?
I've heard the name.
Yeah. I have tons of his books, and I loved his book on the Battle of Salamis, the naval battle between the Greek forces and the Greek allies against the Persians. But he's got a brand new book coming out, and I was like, I need to be the one to review it. So August 19th, Barry Strauss has this book coming out, Jews versus Rome.
That will be interesting.
Yes. 2 centuries of rebellion against the world's mightiest empire. So anytime there's a new title by Barry Strauss out, I got to check it out. It's coming from Simon & Schuster. So more on this, as I, haven't begun it yet, but this could be pretty good. Give you a little introduction to just the conflict between these two. And then this is more like a personal story set in like Holocaust times, but I read the description and I'm like, oh, this sounds terribly moving, and I'd like to read it. And this is coming out also in August. This is Milena and Marguerite by Gwen Strauss, a love story in Ravensbrück. So a profoundly moving celebration of love under the darkest of circumstances. So yeah, apparently these two women were there, and it kind of highlights, talk about verboten and just things, you're in a concentration camp, but yet you find love. And not only that, just, a forbidden love, you know what I mean, in that setting. So I wanted to check this out, and it's coming out August 19th as well from St. Martin's Press. So hopefully I'll have updates on these the next time we get together for one of these Saturday reads. And you know what? And that's not the only one. I'm still working through The Buffalo Hunter by Stephen Graham Jones. Also writing a review for that, for an online review. And I need to have that done by the end of the month as well. This will be my first time reading Stephen Graham Jones, who is he's written a lot of like horror stories, like My Heart is a Chainsaw, stuff like that. But he writes things definitely. Oh, and he wrote The Only Good Indians. Yeah, he's supposed to be a great writer. And so I'm still working on that.
You need to read the comments.
Oh, what's happening? What's happening now? I like big books, and I cannot lie. Oh my God.
Oh man. That's
Yeah, you
great.
crack yourself up, tomatoes. That's funny. I sometimes sing that. Sometimes I'll be like, I like big books, and I cannot lie. But then I stop there.
Oh man.
As Martine would say, don't do the third verse,
Well, I've got a 8-year-old that repeats especially when it's in song, she repeats everything. And she has an amazing memory and can remember, she hears it twice and she's got it down. So that's not one that I have sang around her.
That's probably a good idea. Really good idea. Yeah, well, gosh, this was a lot of fun, huh?
Yes. Thank you for spending some time to talk about books.
Yeah.
Thank you for everybody that came out. This has been a wonderful chat. And
you guys,
again, I repeat, I'm a guy who can't do two things at once. So if I missed your message, I apologize.
Yeah, and I'm trying to do, I'm trying to listen to Bill and also kind of monitor the feed, and so I hope
Peg's the multitasker.
Yeah, but I don't always hit all of them. So, but just know that we're reading all of them. The one thing I did want to reply to is that a couple of you guys mentioned that new massive biography of William Buckley Jr., the book by Sam Tannenhouse. I do want to read it, although I have to say I watched a podcast recently between Jonah Goldberg and Matthew Continetti, and apparently the book is not for as big as this massive biography is. I think it's over 1,000 pages. They don't really spend a lot of time on the latter half of his life. So to me, that's not a complete biography if you're not giving equal time to every portion of that person's life, So I'll still read it when I can get my hands on a copy. But yeah, I was disappointed to hear that they wouldn't look at his later life as in detail as his time, at National Review. And yeah. Thank you, Aunt Dee. Yes, everybody. Yeah, hit like on this video. Wait, that's not the one. Don't forget to hit like on this video. But yeah, there's some mixed reviews there, but we'll see. We'll see what it's about.
Well,
yeah. All right.
Yeah. Well, I got a message from my wife. I'm supposed to take my daughter to the playground. So
that's it. You got to go. I need to check in and see what kind of home projects we got going on outside of my office and get going.
I'm sure Martine's out there causing mischief.
If she's not in the chat causing mischief, she's somewhere causing mischief.
Well, earlier she was trying to cause mischief. I saw it.
She does that with tongue in cheek, right?
No, I know.
She's funny. All right. Well, you go to bed there, Tony. It says it's time for bed there. You have a good sleep, sir. And thanks everyone for joining us for another Saturday Reads.
Yes, thank you for coming out and spending a couple hours with us.
Yeah. And who knows, maybe we'll change it up in the future and do another day. Who knows?
Let's see if anybody's paying attention out there.
Yeah, we got to keep them on your toes. But all right, guys. Well, thanks for joining us here. We will see you again soon, and we'll see you all on our channels. And just happy. Well, no, wait. I gotta have. I almost said it.
Yes, thank you for coming out. Thank you for watching. And until next time, happy reading.
Bye, everybody.